So we all know black parents got to give their kids to talk, especially their black sons, when it comes to how to deal with police. Well, you got this alt-right pastor, Joe Webon, who goes on the podcast and says that white parents need to give their kids to talk. Listen.
If you're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children, that you need to have the talk. The talk that we're referencing is the talk that takes your children according to their maturity at the proper time, the appropriate time, and says, there are certain parts of town that you cannot go. And there are certain people that you cannot be around.
Yep.
Right? If there's someone who is black in our church, and they've been in our church, and we know them, and they love the Lord Jesus Christ, great. We're not talking about that person, right. But we're talking about when you go into a crowd of people. If you go into a crowd of strangers and they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times more danger. Them's the facts. And it is actually a failure of your parental duty. White parents, please hear me. If you teach your children growing up, if you lie to them and say, all people and all races of people in our country are the same. They are not. You are actually depriving your child of factual, truthful information that could save their life.
So let me help y'all out. If you're black and you attend Covenant Bible Church in Georgetown, your ass crazy. If you literally sit under the stewardship of that racist, then you must absolutely belong to the Clarence Thomas fan club. If you are black and you are anywhere near that church, then Jordan Peele was talking about your ass and Get Out. Now, this guy, he's also the founder of a white Christian nationalist website called Right Response Ministries. And the thing here, Tim, that people need to understand is white pastors like this guy all around the country. These are the people, I forgot that other crazy fool in Tennessee said, if you're a Democrat, get out of my church, you're demonic. These are the people who have been advocating for Trump, and they changed the rule for the IRS to allow them to endorse from the pulpit. These are the fake Christians. These are the people who are not real Christians, or they are, as Bishop Barber says, these are the people who advocate that slave-holding religion or that slave-holding Christianity.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would feel a lot safer being in a black community than being in that church, for example. I mean, these people are horrifically racist, and the sad reality is that Donald Trump has normalized this, and the right-wing media networks have made this okay to say. And, I thought we were, maybe naively, well, definitely naively, thought we were maybe getting past some of this, but again, this comes back to the fact that these people they don't believe, they're not following the gospel or the Bible or anything like that. They are using it to control people and to gain power and financial power. And it has absolutely nothing to do with what is in that book. And it is disgusting. And, I look at this stuff and it just blows my mind that anybody could believe it. But there are tens of millions of Americans that do. And we have a lot of work to do to push back and push this into the gutter where it absolutely belongs.
Yep, and they're just showing, guys like him, if you are a member of that church, we don't want nothing to do with you, Nola, because you are delusional as well.
This isn't about Christianity. I'm not even about to sit here and waste my Christian breath on talking about what the gospel is and what it isn't. I always ask people if they've ever seen The Black Klansman and if they saw the end of the movie when Spike Lee does this wonderful job of explaining David Duke's long plan of infiltration. And so through my lens, this is how I see this. This is infiltration. This is infiltration, where Jethro comes out of the overalls and puts on a suit, goes to the good schools and, expands vocabulary and are infiltrated in different parts of quote unquote polite society. Even though his delivery was calm, as if, I'm relatable and I'm the sensitive guy. I'm not trying to be a racist. Black Christians, as we define them, are okay, but it's those other ones, right? So this is us versus them, plain and simple. It is not the gospel. There is nothing that Jesus taught about that was rooted in hate. So it's laughable. It's disgusting. And in my view, the thing that, they project a lot, the thing that they call demonic is exactly this. You are using the word of God and you are turning it and twisting it into something gross and detestable. But before we go, Roland, I want to say, one thing. As we are sitting here in reflection of 9/11 and all the things that are going on in our country, there is something else that is also going on that is equally scary. And that is what recently happened in Poland with 19 Russian drones entered Poland's airspace. So in as much as we have things going on here domestically, we also have to keep our eyes on what's happening around the world. And Hitler in 1939 invaded Poland in September. So these historical echoes, we're not just feeling them here domestically, it's happening around the world. And so I know we are all overwhelmed and exhausted, but there's a lot that's going on.
Right.
I just want people to be awake and aware.
Well, what we're dealing with here, again, Greg, we've seen preachers like this here. These are the folks who meet with Trump. They're the people who met with numerous presidents and mayors and whatever. That dude that will feel right at home if the White Citizens Council came back, because no doubt he would be elected chair.
Maybe he would be elected chair. He'd certainly be a member. Maybe he'd be elected chair. But I mean, the reason I was laughing, look at him. Look at him. See, this is the kind of thing that they try to get to trigger. I don't know that he could get elected because they be looking at him, look at your corny ass. Ain't nobody going to make you the leader or nothing. This is a man. Look at this guy, man. So I guess what I'm saying is this. See, Charlie Kirk was murdered yesterday, and it's a tragedy, and nobody should be killed. There's a common theme running through this whole thing. These are the people who have lived their whole lives being ground into self-esteem dust by people who have clowned them for how they look, how they sound. And it's a tragedy because that's the kind of thing that nobody should have to endure. But they found in this movement, in this white nationalist movement, in this male-centered movement, some reason for being. They can be important. And I guess what I'm saying is, and Noah, thank you for bringing up what happened in Poland, because the way I understand it, right, they evoked Article 4, rather the NATO Charter, which is the step they need to do before they go to number 5. We might be on the verge of World War. Right, that might be that's probably the biggest story of the week, what you just debated. These Russians messing around here on this border, and of course, their wholly owned subsidiary. I can see Putin making a call to Trump and say, hey, P-boy, stay out of it. I mean, very easily. I mean, there's something going on in the world right now that's going to render all this irrelevant, but I'll end with this. People who feel like they've been diminished, they've been demeaned, people who feel like they failed in life, those people flock to people like we just saw. It isn't just the message. It's the ethos. It's the avatar. It's the image. And so you see disheveled-ass Steve Bannon, who's a millionaire, leading these lemmings off the cliff. You see guys like this talking very calm in their dad jeans, with hiding behind their fake beard, with their little man, whatever that shit is that you put in to make your beard go dark, with them glasses on, looking like he's trying to grow a chin like Tom Cotton. I don't know what it is in Missouri, and the senators ain't got no chins, whether it's Tom Cotton or Eric Schmidt, but this guy would be right at home, like his neck goes right up to his lip. And so he's talking about giving the talk. Ain't nobody listening to you, man. You fuck around, get your ass whipped out here in these streets. Listen. If you're black, like you say, Ron, and you listen to that dude, you got bigger problems than to talk. We just need to get our act. I'm sorry, no. I'm looking at the guy like, come on, man. Really? Like you said, bro. Like you say, no. They can already start World War III, and this boy right here who looks like what's his name? Listen, our children would drag this man for filth. He looks like what's that guy that made Star Wars? Who's the
Lucas?
He
George
looks like
Lucas?
a cartoon version of George Lucas. Yeah, that's exactly like a cartoon George Lucas. Ain't nobody listening to you. Get the Anyway, I'm sorry. Let me stop.
I don't even know. I don't even know if he went to seminary. All right, y'all.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.